For 9 seasons, I have attempted to turn this Pittsburgh Steelers franchise into the success fans have waited for so many years. And in 9 seasons, I have failed. It all began at the trade deadline when I traded away 7 players, many of them mainstays. And now we get to part 2 of the deconstruction of the Pittsburgh Steelers to build them up once again, but it's time for some change. We are going to be making a move at the quarterback position, and the Marquise McLeod era will be officially coming to an end here shortly. We already have 15 picks in the next draft, including 2 first rounders, 3 second round picks, and I'm hoping to find a quarterback. I'm hoping to find a new starting receiver. I'm hoping to find some young players that can help us build up a 2.0 version, the Steelers 2.0. So, I don't normally do any of these episodes live. And I thought, this is the year 10 off season. I'm hitting the reset button. I have not had all the answers. Help me, guys. Come on. I need you in here. I need you to help me steer this ship in the right direction. I'm desperate. We'll see what happens here in this stream. I will be putting together an episode that is, edits this down because I guess the videos in this series are long, but a live stream is going to be even longer, and not everybody likes streams. No simming draft picks this time. That was my master plan. Just sim them all and see what happens. As a Ravens fan, this series has been surprisingly enjoyable. Oh, man. I'm not trying to make Ravens fans the ones having the best time. They've had 2 Super Bowl wins, just came with an arm's reach of a third, and they've had our number while we have floundered for 9 seasons. Can we start with a coaching change? I'm going to stick with Chuck Johnson. There's just not an interesting way to start up with a new coach. Like, could I retire him and start with a fresh coach? I could. But at this point, I'm too invested in the Chuck Johnson story to just, he should have been fired many times over. But he's getting another opportunity with a new quarterback, and we're going to see what happens this year. The fans might not like it. The players like him. The GM likes him a lot. The media likes him. Steelers owners do keep coaches forever. They do. They've only had 3 coaches since the 60s. Late 60s. So, I have done a little bit of work ahead of starting up the offseason. I have some draft targets I want to talk about. I have identified teams that I think would be a good fit for Marquise McLeod. And I have private workout candidates. I have, I think the prep I need to go into this offseason with a really good plan. So we are here at the staff week. I appreciate the super chat here, Sean. Been watching since the Matt Pierre career mode series when I was 14 or 15. I'll be 23 this year. And Matt Pierre wasn't even close to the start of my YouTube career, man. Thanks for sticking around, and it's been a long time, man, since that series. What a fun journey that was. Matt Pierre, that was a series where we didn't really have success until, year 10. So it can happen, guys. Good luck, Kane. We believe in you. I'm not sure there's actual belief. I think people just cannot take their eyes off this team for the wrong reasons. Can you at least let us help build the playbook? So I was thinking too about different schemes that would be a good fit for us. And one team who had a lot of things in place I kind of wanted to emulate was San Francisco. But I don't know if the zone running and more of the outside stuff is going to be a great fit for us. We have a couple scheme fit guys along the offensive line. But the Kyle Shanahan offense, it's really running back friendly. It's very tight end friendly. And if we look at the history of them in this series, they're not a team that takes a lot of sacks. And Brock Purdy has a pretty decent track record overall. So I'm kind of liking the idea of breaking out the Shanahan playbook and just seeing how it works in the preseason. That's one of my favorite candidates. It doesn't work well in Sim? What does work well in Sim in this game? Been a fan since the Sammy Hollins Road to Glory. Now that was an awesome series there. Thank you, Instant Classic, for the super chat. I really wish safety was an option still for Road to Glory, because it's hard to top playing safety, and just making plays all over the field with those guys is so much fun. Bengals for passing. See, I don't like the Bengals playbook because it's like all pass, and I want something that's a little bit more geared towards the run. The Rams offense always owns me in slow sim. Yeah, Sean McVay offense. I didn't even think about the Sean McVay when I was looking over a bunch of them earlier today. The Rams still running it here. They are. All right, let's take a look at just some of the Rams numbers here, and then we'll start getting into the actual fun. You know, I haven't done a Madden offseason stream in a while. I think it's had to have been a couple of years now. So this is going to be fun time. Been watching and enjoying your content for a long time. If you can't rebuild the Steelers, there's always my Jets. I think the emphasis there is on the word always, Alan. Thank you for the super chat. One day your Jets will be good again. I can't let you, I can't tell you it's going to be in real life or in Madden, but at some point you will see them succeed again. I just need you to believe. Kind of crazy I haven't gotten to a Jets rebuild in my time here doing content. It's a good average here for their running back here, Devon Ragland. Let's see. 48 sacks taken this year, almost 4,000 yards passing. So Batten's been their quarterback since 26. This does seem to be a playbook that gives up a decent number of sacks in the simming, but there's a lot of pass production, a little bit pass heavier, I think, than some schemes. So I don't know about the frequency, because if you look here, 531 pass attempts, 208 rushing attempts. Now, I am going to probably do another custom playbook. It's just not going to... I'm looking for a new base, basically. I'm starting from scratch. You know, new quarterback, some new players, new scheme. But when I get to the preseason, if that's today, you know, we'll see what time looks like when we're done with the actual, like, draft and everything. But if we could see some gameplay, maybe with one of these playbooks I have in mind, I might try Shanahan. What about Miami playbook? They do a lot of pre-snap motion. There is a lot of good stuff in the Miami playbook. I do think, though, that the pre-snap motion is actually sometimes a negative because it takes so long and it leads to extra delay of game opportunities. Not really played Madden yet, nor did I know you started the series due to YouTube. Do you think 26 has improved many things, or is still like 24? I think the main thing is the gameplay feels very different. They've done a lot of changes over the last couple years, and I think like some of it's better, some of it, you know, still has a little bit of ways to go. I do think that this year in both games, like the front seven aggressiveness and just the TFL percentages and everything is a little too much. It feels like they've slowed things down maybe a hair too far. I liked, you know, when I played 24 with the Saints. So, I mean, I don't think that this is a Madden you got to rush to, you know, jump into in terms of like just, I can't list off a bunch of things it does significantly better. I think the draft classes have improved. I do think that like default XP sliders and just like development has gotten to the point where it's easier to grow the young developable players. But I really appreciate the super chat. I love what you do and hope you keep going. Hey, Kane, been here since Madden 12 Vikings. I know you have. I've seen you around for years here, Havrian. Thank you. Been watching since the UDFA Panthers quarterback series and the Bucks. Joe Coakley is my GOAT. If only you could get guard play like that for this team. Man, I've been looking for a Joe Coakley for years, and the hunt continues. How are your sliders? You know, I'm not actually using sliders in this game. Only on my Snowhawk series over on the main channel. So, default all pro. That's the way my slow sim series are meant to be. And it's been a roller coaster ride. I mean, just a couple of years ago, we won 13 games and things seemed on the up and up. In the last 2 years, you know, you've seen what it has become. So, want to get the ball rolling here, obviously, and Marquise McLeod is going to be traded today. Now, I always think about what's appropriate trade value in these instances, and I think that I would put him value-wise somewhere ahead of like a Tua Tagovailoa or Kyler Murray, like real-life situation. You know, guys who are starting caliber quarterbacks but not high-end. And maybe in a new change of scenery, they could be better than they've been in recent years. McLeod's coming off 2 down seasons. He's 29. He's already been paid pretty big money. I think I would put his value somewhere like at a second round plus an asset. A mid-tier pick, a decent young player, something like that. There's not a huge precedent for players of his caliber at quarterback getting traded. And oftentimes, because there is a lot of money associated with them, they just end up getting released in the case of like a Daniel Jones. It's like when the Rams traded Goff. It's comparable. You know, when they traded away Goff, they had to give up a first-round pick. They got Matthew Stafford, of course. So, you know, I'm not going to be seeking a first-round pick, essentially, in the McLeod deal, but the overall value of the package might be a first-round pick, if that makes sense. So let's get our upgrades in and then head towards the off-season. These are just our practice squad players. I'll upgrade those automatically. What's your Super Bowl prediction? Rams and Bills. Rams win. That's my current prediction for you. I'm so happy for you that your Snowhawks video is doing so well. I am really pleased with the response so far. You know, I did some experimenting last year that didn't go over perfectly, and then Snowhawks was my big thing to start the year off, and it is doing very, very well. The next part, by the way, in the works, I was just recording it 20, 30 minutes ago. I am most of the way through Season 2. I just need one more recording session to wrap it up. I'm going to have that next video out hopefully by Monday. Those are a little bit more time-consuming, but I'm looking at like a one-a-week type of cadence there. But I think that fits, like, there's a lot of action in there. All right. So we're not looking to make a huge, you know, change with our coordinators. We're going to change playbook, but we have high-rated coaches and everything. Let's advance past this stage. We do own, what was it, the number 5 pick? Let's see, the carousel, all good there. So I wanted to start things here by showing you just kind of where my head is at with the draft and everything, because that kind of sets the direction when we have 15 draft picks. So we do select here at 5. We need a quarterback. And right now the top quarterback goes at 7. That is Clayton Mitchell. I have some first-round tackle options I like. Devon Oliver is a player that I want to maybe get a private workout on and see if he's worth a trade-up. I do see us trading a lot because we need to target the right players and not just let the draft come to us in this type of a year. Matthew Harrington is another player who's mocked in the first round despite being a second to third round projection. Want to see if he is worth a move up And then we pick again at 28 overall. So here's Harrington, for instance. I could use some more information here. The strength is really good. The athleticism is really good. Power over finesse. But I think that the finesse stuff potentially isn't, too low. If that run block is like a C, then that'd be really nice. Snowhawks Super Bowl happening in less seasons than the Steelers. Calling it now. Love the content as always. It'll be fun to compare those two and see if that's actually the case. Yeah, 15 picks is crazy because we traded away so many players and so many players of value. And usually when you have that many good players, you're just good. Teams that tear it down are usually trading away a couple of pieces. Think about the Jets trading away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams for all those first-round picks. We basically did that plus a couple more players. It's like if the Jets had also traded away Garrett Wilson and Elijah Vera Tucker and Breece Hall, in addition to Williams and Gardner. So I have one quarterback I really like this year, and that is Clayton Mitchell. Mitchell is a first to second round talent. I think that his combine's going to be outstanding, and the accuracy is really good. The awareness is a little bit lower, so maybe his overall is like a 72, 73-ish, but I still think potentially worth a first-round pick. But I got to see Freddie Lashley, pretty much guaranteed to be one of our focus players. I need the grade because Freddie Lashley is a year younger. His combine should be in the same ballpark, and his accuracies are a B, throw on the run is an A, and he has higher awareness. He's a little bit more injury prone, though. That's the only negative I have on the Flash here, Freddie Lashley. I didn't get Madden until Christmas time. What teams could still be worth it as a franchise team right now? I mean, if you're going to pick up you like where the NFL season is right now and just get right on to the offseason, I think that the Jets with the extra picks are a really good option. I think depends what kind of challenge you're looking for, but like the Jets need a lot and they have a lot of assets in terms of cap space and picks to attack. The Raiders definitely need a new quarterback, and, you got young players like Ashton Genty to build around Brock Bowers, so there's kind of like a nucleus there you can finish off with the offense. Or you could pick a team that's, in a slightly different spot. You could, I think actually Dallas, that's a good one there because of their cap situation. It's a good roster, but maybe you try to add a piece or two. Yeah, I'd pick, like, on the low end, the Jets or the Raiders. On the mid-tier, kind of like the Cowboys or even the Ravens, honestly. Baltimore with an aging Derrick Henry and now maybe a coaching change. You could fire John Harbaugh, bring in a new coach. Yeah, Miami and Arizona with trading away the quarterbacks and getting a fresh start there. I love that. All right, I got 5 players on my board here that I'm very interested in. I wanted to tell you guys about. We're going to scroll down here at the running back position. Thad Hammond. What I do to find what players I'm most interested in, I'm usually looking at certain skills and isolate them. So I'm looking here like, okay, give me the best players with acceleration. And you're going to see Thad Hammond is in that upper tier. If I sort by speed, in this good to solid, he pops up there as well. If we go to attributes and look at things like ball carrier vision, we're going to eventually get to him here as a B. And he's an elusive back who also has, good vision, B trucking, B stiff arm. So this is Thad Hammond out of Mizzou. 5'8", 196, a day 3 player. Hoping that the speed is, at worst, like a 4.52, and then really good vision, stiff arm. I think a complete running back and a good option for us to maybe target there in the 3rd round. Can we see the speed expectations for quarterbacks? Sure. So for Clayton Mitchell, we're looking at good to solid. So that might be like a 79, 80 overall. which is functional but not playmaking mobility. And then Freddie Lashley is good to great. So if we want a true scrambler with escapability, Freddie Lashley could end up being the better target. All right, that's one target. Do you guys like big receivers? Because I got one for you here. Cliff Hicks from Alabama. 6'9", 234. I really hope his speed is not like high 4.6s though. That is the risk here, is that he's like an 85 speed guy or worse. And you guys are just like, moving the tight end, moving the tight end. He's raw, but he's 6'9" with A, catch in traffic, B, catching, and C, short and deep route running. Next up, guard. This is a day 3 player in Jake Holcomb from LSU. He's 6'4", 337. I just think athletically, good for a strong, power-oriented guard. And the pass blocking has a foundation with a decent run block power grade there. I think he might be, a private workout option, but he's a day 3 projected player. So I think at least worth a shot there in the 3rd or 4th round. Next up, I think this guy is on the short list of players where I'm thinking I need to leave this draft with this player. Amir Lane out of Utah is a power rusher at 6'4", 280. But man, I don't know if I've seen a more complete edge rusher. Athletically, he's strong, very good speed. The acceleration should be decent. Maybe the change of direction could be better. Then you've got B block shed, A power moves, A tackling. We need a starting edge rusher, I believe, in Amir Lane, maybe late 1st, early 2nd. I think fits in really well. That athleticism at 280 pounds is awesome. And then I got one for you here at defensive tackle. We're going to go to Derek Bragg all the way down here. So round 1 to 2 talent, we already have the grade. So not really a stretch here, but he's a nose tackle at 21 years old. We could use another young defensive tackle to start developing while we got some guys that have been around for a while. And I just like the starting point. Good run stopper with C power moves and C finesse, maybe a future Jalen Dalton replacement. Now, I did not see much that I liked in the secondary, but we've also spent a lot of picks there in the past couple of years that I don't really think it's a huge need anyway. And when I built my favorites board, I didn't end up with a lot of later players. I feel like I like more of the early picks this year, and I want to trade up to get as many of my big targets as I can. I would have liked to find some more UDFA targets, and maybe we still will. But as of right now, I don't have a great feel for like 5th round, 6th round steals. I think that another receiver here, Julius Burke, maybe goes in the 1st round, maybe in the 2nd. If I don't bring back Justin Guerrero, he's basically a carbon copy. Same skill set, really good athlete, good route runner. And I don't know, maybe even a higher ceiling, potentially. So I've got a lot of picks to try and chase some of that talent at 5, 28, 35, 37. These are early 2nd round picks. And then we got 49 and 69. I see these 4th rounders as good ways for us to maybe move this 3rd round up, maybe bump some of these up if I want to make sure I can get a guy. Because I'm not going to be chasing overall draft value. I am looking to leave the draft with like 5 really good players that can, become part of this core potentially. Would a Bengals rebuild be fun, like making an actual O-line since you already have Joe Burrow? I don't think in this game, because I think they have overpowered the defensive lines, and you do not feel that reward from actually getting good offensive linemen. Just use this series as an example. where we've seen players with good ratings consistently get beat and give up a bunch of sacks. I just don't think this is the Madden for that one. Now, if you wanted to take the Bengals just to build up a defense, it is the Madden for that one. So the Bengals can be right for a different reason for you. But I mean, I've brought in guys that I've had high expectations of and just watched them continually have problems. So I want to change the scheme, see if we can find anything to work better this year. All right, we're going to move on to the next stage, which should actually be a very quick one because I don't think I'm extending any more contract offers here. These are all players I'm comfortable letting hit free agency for the time being. I think I'm going to make a change here to my recording quick. 1 second. There. Custom playbooks still buggy too. Are there actual bugs associated with custom playbooks? Do I just need to use a stock playbook? Oh, Hitchens was not done. I was actually willing to pick up his option. That was kind of the last part here. I just wasn't going to sign Guerrero or anybody else. I think this is going to be a really good free agent class for receivers. I've looked through some rosters for players that haven't been signed, and I think we might be able to find somebody else. For Hitchens, I am going to pick this up. It is a premium, but because he's not interested in re-signing right now, I think I'll just accept it because I'd probably have to pay him something close anyway. We are letting Justin Guerrero hit free agency, though, yes. I think Bud Cage is going to be a staple, but I want to evaluate my options for the other guy. So, free agency number 1. And really, before we can get started with free agency, guys, we may have to consider trading away Marquise McLeod. Got a couple extra retirements here. Anybody of note on the draft stories? Duke Blackwell showing up overweight. So, I already evaluated some teams that I thought would be good fits for Joe Book. Do you guys want me to get one of the top teams out of the way? The team I've identified is, or are, the Los Angeles Chargers. Joe Book, they view as a bridge quarterback. All right? So they're already perhaps in that quarterback market again. Now, how'd their season end? With Joe Book, who took a step back this year, they finished the season 0-3, where Joe Book had 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions over the last 3 weeks, and they lost all those games, missed the postseason. They view him as a bridge quarterback, not a franchise guy. Outside of Joe Book, this is a very old core that does not have time to wait around for a rookie. They need a veteran upgrade if they're going to make something happen. Omarion Hampton is 31 years old. Ladd McConkey is 32. Cooper Skaggs is 29. Joe Alt is in his 30s. The time is ticking on this Chargers team. They got Patrick Stockton, Derek Harmon. It's an old team that needs a Hail Mary perhaps at the position to hit that next level. And I think that this would be a pretty good landing spot. Another one I have as the Denver Broncos because Josh Allen retired. But I just thought, the construction of the Chargers was interesting. And also, what am I getting in return? Because I looked through these teams, I didn't spot many players that I thought I had to get, back in these deals that makes sense for these teams to trade. Outside of one option. Check quarterback free agents first. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see who the quarterback free agents are. Marcus Beverly is the best guy, and he was the Browns quarterback. Bobby Crane's also available. So, if they want an upgrade, they're going to have to trade. So back to what I was talking about. When it comes to Marquise McLeod and this trade, I thought about what do I want in return? Because I have picks. I have a lot of picks. Is there a player that I want in return? Or a combination of picks? And now it looks like the Chargers cap space situation might not be able to handle a Marquise McLeod trade. So this is the big, concern. Because they'd have to get some money off the books. I had interest in getting Joe Book in this trade. It would give us a veteran quarterback in case, there's like an injury. And if I want Freddie Lashley, that could be a legitimate concern. I have interest in adding Joe Book. But it looks like to make this trade work, they'd have to dump some cap. And I just don't know if we can make it work in that case. You got a $50 million cap hit here on your defensive tackle. What are you guys doing? Seriously. I don't see how they could get rid of enough cap. And plus, I don't just want players in return. Take Joe Alt. It still doesn't work. So, it may not work for the Chargers unless I use the trade finder. Because you can actually override the trading here and trade with teams that don't have the cap space if you do it this way. But the Chargers don't show up when I run it. One of the teams I had listed did, though, and that is the Arizona Cardinals. But I also think that the Cardinals, I guess he is an upgrade over Witherspoon. Witherspoon's numbers were really good last year, but I just didn't view them as the ideal fit because of Witherspoon having a better season than McLeod did a year ago. Why does this guy only play every 3 years? You want to see other teams' quarterbacks? All right, so Bears have Caleb. Bengals have Joe Burrow for now. The Bills have Joshua Weaver, who they view as a bridge. The Broncos have Isaiah Anthony, but they don't really have cap space to absorb this contract. Not trading him in division. The Cardinals have the cap. The Chargers lack the cap. The Chiefs could pull it off. The Colts don't have the cap space. So the cap space really limits our options then. Arizona is not a bad one. To be honest, when I started this up, I wanted to trade him to the Chargers, but I just don't think it's going to work. So, the Cardinals, they view Khaled Witherspoon as a bridge, and the Chargers view Joe Book as a bridge. Oh, you were able to see the cap space on... Oh, my camera was blocking it in this camera. That's my bad. Yeah. How about I shrink? Just a little bit. So I did like the idea of getting a player of some sort of value in the return, and ideally, I'd love to trade him to a team that maybe has like extra offensive linemen, which is not really a concept, you know, because teams don't usually have enough. So let's take a look at Arizona. Khaled Witherspoon is their bridge quarterback. He'd play with Marco Rodriguez. They got a couple good left tackles here. And then they've got Deontay Whitfield, a trade target at right tackle. So I know I've looked at Whitfield and I don't like him that much. It's because his run blocking is so bad. But would it be worth a roll of the dice? Would be the second time you sent a starting quarterback to Arizona, shut out Blake Westbrook? It absolutely would be. They got Sean Oberg as a future starter. Jamie Kendricks, they just flat out like. I mean, they were offering Kendricks there in the trade finder, and they would still have tackles. Oberg is their future, they say. Jamie Kendricks, this would be a big cap hit for us. Let's see how many years he's under contract. Decent history for him. Under contract for a few years. So it would have to be a pretty significant, you know... I have to feel pretty good about adding him. He's 26 years old. He's a pure pass protector, that's for sure. I kind of like the idea. I'm moving Christmas back to the right side, by the way. He was a mess at left tackle. He was better at the right side. It's kind of tricky, Sean, because quarterbacks in our league are usually they make either like 5 million or like 50 million. So, and then they don't have cap space anyway, even when they're paying quarterbacks cheap money half the time, like the Chargers. So it's hard to introduce that here, just the way the year has gone with certain contracts getting inflated. The Cardinals are truly Pittsburgh West. Yeah, they've had some past, trying to think of what Steelers have gone there in the past. James Ferrier comes to mind. Is that right? I think another, or am I thinking of a different linebacker? Because Ferrier never went there. Which linebacker am I thinking of? Rashard Mendenhall, James Conner. Is it Larry Foote? Yeah, Larry Foote played 1 year there and then did some coaching there for a little bit. Okay, so do we have interest in getting Witherspoon back in this deal then? To have him as a veteran presence. Not sure I love the combination of traits here. I do think he'd be a good, second option is all. But I do not mind the idea of adding Jamie Kendricks when they have left tackle they like a lot. Whitfield has 3 years under contract. And this would be a quarterback upgrade for them. For Marco Rodriguez. Go get Rodriguez? Man, I don't even think they would do that. If I put Rodriguez in the trade finder, I'm guessing they wouldn't even give us an offer. Yeah, no package. But if I put Marquise McLeod in the trade finder, they were one of the interested teams. That is pretty close to what I was looking for. A player, a second round pick, and then they're throwing in some late. I think I like the idea here. Give me Jamie Kendricks. Give me a future second. It is now more than a first round in value when you're talking about a 26-year-old tackle. At a fourth, yeah, I kind of like that. We have a lot of picks this year. I'd like to have, you know, a decent bit next year too. The run blocking is risky, but the pass protection is elite. Get a current year in there. Let's see if they'll do it for a 2, and I'll take even their later 3. Should I throw anything else their way in this deal? Giving up their left tackle makes no sense. I understand it doesn't make a lot of sense to trade away a star left tackle, but they do have a guy they view as a future starter at left tackle, and it saves them money at the position. And they have another tackle here in Deontay Whitfield, who's under contract for 3 years. Now, he's the one they want to trade, but we have the quarterback. If we have the quarterback, we have the leverage, is how I would justify it. Send a 6th back. Send them a 4. I wouldn't mind giving them a 4. You know, I'm just trying to think of something here that I feel is somewhat reasonable, and at the very least, can I justify it from the other team's perspective? They get a quarterback out of it. That is a big upgrade over, you know, having a bridge quarterback that's also a year older. So this is going to be our offer here. Let's see if they'll take it. Marquise McLeod and a 4 for Jamie Kendricks, a future second round pick, and a 3rd. And after all this time, the trade has been accepted, and Marquise McLeod is now an Arizona Cardinal. Holy smokes. We did it. Well, give me that one too for the thumbnail, maybe. We did it, guys. We moved on. The Cardinals will now have Marquise McLeod. The overalls here are juiced because, like, Morale's taking his down, and there's a boost for Witherspoon making the gap tighter. If they viewed Witherspoon as a franchise guy, I wouldn't have made the trade, but they already view McLeod as a franchise quarterback. And there they go. If they can unlock the quarterback from this season, or this season, then they're going to have a good chance at success. But it was time for a fresh start. If the Chargers make a move at quarterback, I might try and take Joe Book, but they don't have a backup plan right now. With that, everybody, I want to save. I gotta be very careful here when I'm saving my files that I save over to the correct one. That's why I've made backups for both this series and the Snowhawks. I thought about trying to trade for an elite offensive lineman, and I guess I did. It's so hard to acquire players for picks alone. Like superstar caliber players for just picks. All right, so Christmas is going back to the right side. Tackle is no longer a huge concern this year. I think I can target some other stuff in the first round. And Jamie Kendricks, let's hope he can handle the left side there. The run blocking is low, but like, this is pretty good for a pass protector archetype player. And the thing is I was looking through, and there are not many guys with pass protector at 87 at all in the entire league. All right, guys, let's go now to free agency. I would like to see if there's a quarterback, or not quarterback, but a receiver out there, and there is Pat Clinton. Is Dylan Bernard available? He is. So this is the receiver that just took off this year with the Cincinnati Bengals, which they juice their receiver production so much. But Dylan Bernard is a really good route runner. He doesn't have dominant speed despite being a deep threat archetype guy. But 1,600 yards last year and 10 touchdowns with Cincinnati. He replaced Jamar Chase. Ooh, Clay McDonald too. So he's a deep threat. 98 speed. I've done some stuff with the Trade Finder in the past, and the Panthers have always been willing to offer him to me. I could target both. We could use the experience for sure. Clay McDonald. To replace that Joey Riddick speed. He has a couple offers. All right, so we have a couple receivers there we like. It's only saying we have about $30 million in cap space, though, because adding a tackle there, that was significant. Let me check what our salaries look like here, because now I'm paying an $81 million penalty by trading away McLeod. That's going to hurt for the next season. But if I restructure, our quarterback money is about to go way down. So I could free up some more with Roderick Barber if I need to. I could even restructure Jamie Kendricks and really bank on it working out. So I can clear some space. All right, let's see what else we got here. So the receivers look pretty good. Tight end isn't a huge need, but there are guys out there. The offensive line are probably going to be... This is probably going to be pretty solid this year. Christian McAllister's out there. But I still feel like trading for a guy, if it's an elite player, is, was my preferred option. All right, we got some guys on the edge. Jamie Ruiz. On the other edge, you got Quincy Allen here. Linebacker's not a priority. We got that last year. Secondary. I'd actually like to get a safety because I see Bernal playing a lot more slot still. And so having one more safety to use would be kind of nice. Michael Moore. Ooh. I kind of like that skill set right there. Really fast, solid in coverage. What's your history here? Played for Houston, a couple interceptions, a former third rounder. And only looking for about $7 million. So that fits to me. Let's offer him, 2 years, 14. Because we're going to use 3 safeties pretty regularly if we keep doing things the way I've wanted to. Do we have any mentors at quarterback available? I'm just curious. I'm not seeing a single one. Oh, Marco Temple. He's been around. We had him a couple years earlier in this series, so he's bounced around the league. He's a mentor now. Jalen Hurts has the franchise quarterback tag still. That's wild at like a 76 or whatever he is. 74 overall. All right. Back to the receivers. There's interest already in McDonald and offers also for Dylan Bernard. Man, the Bernard offers are 5 a year? I just don't know about the route running because it's taking boosts to get to just the mid-80s. I think I'm going to offer to McDonald. Let's see his production here. 822, 745 yards. So he's put in some good seasons. I have some receivers in the draft that might fit as pretty good slot options. So I got to top a few teams here. I'm just going to offer 50 over 3. What are my regression sliders? So I changed everything this last year. I did a bunch of testing, and I ended up with these XP sliders. For my regression, pretty much boosting everything outside of quarterback because there is a bug right now where every quarterback is regressing after every season. It's annoying. Defense gets a lot of it, and then the age regression here. Trying to keep the top players a little bit younger. Like we see, in real life, a lot of the best players are under 25, 26 years old. Hard to replicate that with the way Madden is set up, with a system where everybody's getting better, no one gets worse until they're regressing. So I've given out 2 offers. RB2 is also something I'm looking at. Did they cut him? Y'all saw me edit in his contract last episode. I edited him. I don't know what happened. Maybe I screwed something up? They didn't give me a ton in return. They gave me a receiver. We'll see where Lynch goes. So I think I'm going to start with just those 2 offers. I don't have a lot of other room. I want to see if I can land either of these targets, and then I'll restructure if I can get both. So Clay McDonald, Michael Moore, evaluated, and bang, 2 for 2. We add Clay McDonald and Michael Moore. So we're going to need a little bit more cap space, but that gives us a completed secondary. It gives us another outside receiver. I think I'm looking for a slot now. I really want to add a slot receiver, ideally in the draft. So you've got your speed demons here in Bud Cage and Clay McDonald. And we'll see how the rest of this comes together. And then we can put Michael Moore in this spot that Lindsey was earlier, but Moore is just, much more athletic, better in coverage, better in pretty much every category. And yeah, the defense had to get faster too. I think that's, a big plus when you can find a safety that's that athletic and actually a good player at the same time. So we're going to definitely clear open a little bit of space here. Roderick Barber, what's his hits? Make it near 50. Yeah, Barber's not a player I see leaving us. He's already going to be difficult to trade. So let me see the hit here on Kendricks. Oh, man, we're actually not paying him that much. I think the Cardinals ate a lot because of the signing bonus. Yeah, we're going to restructure his then, because that makes that still a fine number for us. And if worst comes to worst, at least Barber is a little bit more tradable than if he had a $50 million hit. Kane, please look at the quarterbacks on the class with the player notes. Stands tall in the pocket and always aware of pressure. Personally, on simulating only, they've been great. Let's take a look and see if either of my 2 favorites has that. Clayton Mitchell does not have that one, but I do like his combination of traits. And then Freddie Lashley, beautiful spiral, gets rid of the ball at the first sign of pressure, throws the ball away. Yeah, neither one has it. But we have combine numbers now, guys. 4.52 40 from Freddie Lashley. Clayton Mitchell, 4.65. Not bad. Yeah, we're drafting. We're going to get there. These off seasons always go a little bit, slow when we're doing the live stream. So I'd still like the full grade there on Lashley. I wanted to see now, how about my target at running back here, Thad Hammond. 4.5 flat with 20 reps and a top 10 3-cone. It's pretty well-rounded. Very interested. At receiver, man. Don't break my heart here with the 4.66. Cliff Hicks at 6'9", 234, 4.54. Decent speed. I feel like Hugh Lewis from the Bengals is going to have better speed than him, but his acceleration is at least good, and he is an intriguing 6'9" receiver who, with having Bud Cage and now Clay McDonald, might not be a great fit. It might be better now for us to target Julius Burke if it comes to wanting a receiver, because he has the skill set that we're kind of lacking right now. I think acceleration correlates a lot, too, with just, players that stand out from one another. Like Sean Mickens at running back has really good acceleration. Nick Martinez at wide receiver, he had really good acceleration. And we see here that Julius Burke has great acceleration as well. Let's go to Amir Lane at right edge. 4.64 is a really good run. 33 reps. Yeah, that's a very solid combine for Amir Lane. All right, is there anything else I need to address in free agency? Free agency is where we can kind of attack immediate needs, but we have 15 picks to kind of build a new foundation. Looking for a running back still. Want a slot receiver with a high route running ceiling. I feel like not keeping Nick Martinez might have been a mistake. Not addressing the offensive line. I'm still looking for an edge rusher. That could be a spot where, I mean, I do like Amir Lane, but do I sign someone in case? I guess Phelps is an 81. That's not a bad veteran to have. I could use a backup cornerback because if there's an injury there, I'd be playing Bernal probably. Andrew Gaines. Really high zone coverage. 6'3", 204. That's a 30th ranked cornerback right there. He has a couple offers, though, so he's looking for a lot of years. I don't think I'm willing to go to the years. Offer there on Corey Hardwick. Taj Jones has no offers. I might offer here on Taj Jones. I want to compare to Jaron Reedy. Ooh. Do you guys want the fast man cover guy or the little bit slower zone cover guy? Which one? I mean, hard to say no to 92 speed, 90 man coverage if that guy's got to step in. You got any interception production? 2? This man has played for the Texans twice, 4 teams in his career, as a 5th round pick. I must have missed him. Let me offer here on Jaron Reedy. And if someone gets hurt, hopefully he's Reedy to play. Am I right? I don't got the money from McDuffie. You guys like that one? That's a free safety. The slower corner would have been like a really good safety convert. But yeah, we're limited on cap space, so we're not going to be doing a whole lot else here. Let's see if we can land a player, though, with limited interest in coming to Pittsburgh. Bang. All right. Cornerback depth acquired. Jaron Reedy. We had 2 players in the secondary and a receiver. And we got a left tackle in a trade. So, I'm moving on to the next stage. Chiefs sign Marcus Beverly Late retirement here. It's never been a player on our team to this day. Pat Clinton is still available. Maybe teams can't afford him. Or he just doesn't like the team that's offered. There's a 24-year-old 86 overall D tackle. Leonard Pittman. He has offers, not taking them. That's just Jalen Dalton's lookalike. Like same strength, lower power moves, better stopping the run, and gets 11.5 sacks. Same exact archetype of player. I didn't see how athletic he was, but Jalen Dalton's pretty athletic. And we do have to find kind of that next guy. The D tackle class, if we want to go younger and not spend all the money, because D tackle's an expensive position, guys. Anybody above a 70 is like ridiculous. We have some options around the end of round 1. I don't mind putting in an offer. But I do have some steals later on, like Derek Bragg, that I think is that same archetype of athletic nose. And I would like to develop somebody. I'll throw an offer out there. Keep in mind he has some offers. Leonard Pittman. I'd have to create more cap space to make like a really good offer. So I don't anticipate this working out. I'll offer 2 years, 18. Never mind, I will not be. $16.4. But now that I've offered, I can see the other teams that have. And he signed with one of them. Let's see what he signed for. 2 years, $23-ish million. He goes to the Browns. So I was not clearing space to make that happen. Oh, the Browns also got Pat Clinton. Who's their quarterback, though? Ooh, Guerrero just signed with the Chargers. Justin Guerrero is going to go play with Joe Book this year. All right. We'll see how that goes. And have they made any sort of move over there at quarterback? I don't think. Joe Book is still their guy. The Chiefs made the big signing of Beverly. That's the best you could do in free agency. All right, let's hit up Mock Draft 5. What do you think about the Vikings at the moment? I don't know. You know, I enjoyed watching them play better to end the season. I'm a big Kevin O'Connell guy. I hope they can keep Ryan Flores, but I do think he's going to probably get an offer. There's just so many openings, and he's by far one of the best candidates out there. First article I read today, by the way, was over on the Acme Packing Company I think SB Nation page or whatever. And it was actually about Matt LaFleur and the Packers and kind of the disconnect there that makes a lot of sense. From what it sounds like, the Packers want to sign LaFleur to a more modest extension. Think 1 to 2 years. LaFleur has 1 year left on his deal. I think that coaches kind of look at money the same way that the baseball players do. Like their contracts are typically guaranteed and they look at that total value. So if LaFleur were to extend at like his value that's estimated to be around like $13-14 million, he'd only have like $38 million guaranteed compared to a fresh head coach like a Ben Johnson or a Liam Cohen who has signed for what's projected to be around like 5 years and over $10 million a year. I'm really curious what happens there in Green Bay because LaFleur really has no reason to take a 1 to 2 year extension. If he were available right now, he'd get signed for probably over $50 million. So if he were to go into a lame duck year, it might play to his benefit if he wants to be a free agent potentially, or have a good year and work out a better extension with Green Bay. But I think right now, I'd be really surprised after reading that if LaFleur actually signs a 1 to 2 year extension. There's really no reason to. Yeah, he's under contract for next year, and that's it. Did I hear Biscotti talking about Lamar? No, I saw other clips from his presser, but I didn't see him talk about Lamar Jackson. Kaylin, I appreciate the super chat very much. Thank you. Can you show the auto subs? Sure thing. Pretty aggressive here, right? Yeah, Biscotti talks a lot like a billionaire who can pretty much say whatever he wants, and it was kind of funny. Was that the article that was talking about the Packers' assistant coach history? I don't think it touched on that too much. It was really more about the total value of coaching contracts and just the nature of trying to do a short-term extension and why. In my opinion, you probably shouldn't expect him to take that. All right. Mock Draft 5. Dom Roberts at 2. This is actually a change from Mock Draft 4. Now they have the top receiver going 2. Cliff Hicks at 5. Holy cow, they're mocking him there. The Browns do not go quarterback. They have the Seahawks taking Clayton Mitchell. Devon Oliver. I guess the tackles aren't too important now. Jamario Fields potentially here at 27. So if we like Freddie Lashley, he's not even projected to go in the first round. I haven't really considered this, but what if our first pick isn't a quarterback? And what if our first pick is made even higher? Dom Roberts is the elite blue chip receiver of this class. What are the cards mocked at? 12. I will say the Bucks could really use a receiver. They've got, in this series now, their receivers are like an old JSN and an old Emeka Egbuka. Hey, what's going on, Bengal? Real first guy in, last guy out type of receiver. Dom Roberts at 6'2", 235. That's a lot of A grades here. They don't hand out those A grades at route running very often like this. So, you know, if you want to move up, it's in play. Love watching your content over the years. Started with Panthers series. Curious what your top 3 favorite franchise series you've done. I would put, like, the Broncos. You know, I did 10 years with that team on Madden 20. I'd have to say the combining the two channels, the Browns 0-16 rebuild that kind of kicked off this entire style of series for me. Getting like Perry Cummings at running back in that series is still something I've never replicated. So that series always stands out. And if I had to pick a third, man, maybe the Jags, man. Back in the day with the Jaguars and getting Nate Bell, that was a fun team and a fun game. The Golden Gophers, IMO. If we're counting dynasty, it gets tougher. If we're counting dynasties, man. Because I like, you know, every dynasty I've done, I think is pretty solid. I think, like, there are a bunch of franchises I'd put every one of my dynasties over. How's it going, Bengal? I was watching your last Madden video here not long ago. With your good old Saints. Yeah, I think I'm done here in free agency. We're advancing. Give me those private workouts. Yeah, still some good players who are going to go all the way to the preseason unsigned. That's all right. I haven't signed an RB2. Ooh, Evan Lynch did sign on with the Bucks. So the Lions didn't keep him. I don't know why that got all screwed up. I added it in the contract, but whatever. If I want Bradley Thomas or Caleb Johnson, looks like they're out there. It's a pretty good little skill set here on Thomas. Yeah, I did do briefly a Jets Wildcat. I can't even call it a series because it was a part 1. I did a fantasy draft where I was going to run like a Wildcat offense with the Jets. I had like, you know, George Fant on that team, just the super athletic tight end. And I was doing some weird stuff in there, but didn't really follow up on it. This isn't a bad little skill set here for Bradley Thomas. I kind of like it. I don't know. I don't think I had a good plan for continuing it, and then it just faded. Do we bring Caleb Johnson back? He's had better years lately. Did I call George Fant the tight end? Because I was probably playing him at tight end. I was throwing him passes in that Wildcat offense. I think he was in the thumbnail. Not Noah Fant, George Fant, the tackle. The Seahawks tried to turn him into a franchise tackle for like 4 years. He's still in the league. Holy smokes. Caleb Johnson wants to come back. You know what? I think I'll oblige. Kane, are you interested in doing yet another Vikings franchise? Believe it or not, at the moment, not really. I am interested, I don't think I'm going to find a team that's a better fit for me in MLB this year than the Twins, so I probably will be going back to a Minnesota series with that. I want to go to the American League this year, and the Twins look like a mess, but with some fun players. Caleb Johnson is back, everybody. Let's move on to the recap. 9 won them over. I am a bit of a 9 guy. But I'm also thinking they got to go and, add a player in the offseason. I've said before, my realistic dream is Geno Smith gets cut and the Vikings sign Geno Smith. Not having to trade. Don't give up a third rounder for Mac Jones. I want to sign somebody. And I think if Geno Smith were to get released, you'd be getting him probably at a pretty good little discount. Geno Smith, really? Not an impressive answer, huh? Yeah, I mean, Geno Smith was a mess this year with the Raiders. It turns out he can't play behind the worst offensive line in the league. But he did a pretty good job with the Seahawks, and I'm not looking for him to be like the definitive starter, just like in case 9 can't stay on the field. You got to put somebody out there, and I think Geno is one of the better options you'd have for that role. Where'd Evan Lynch go? Tampa Bay. Malik Willis. He's probably going to have a market. He's probably going to get a multi-year deal somewhere. And I wouldn't be shocked if it's a team like Cleveland. All right, private workouts. We know we need Freddie Lashley. The Flash gets one of them. We do not need to scout the tackles, though. So, do we want... I kind of want to see the grade here on Julius Burke. Because now I'm considering maybe trading up at receiver. I kind of want to see like the alternate, because I liked Burke a lot. Could get the grade on Hicks. Do I want grades on 2 receivers? I didn't feel like there was a lot of missing information here. I mean, I got some running backs on the board that could even be an option. Yeah, I can show you the 40 times. Theo Brownlee, 230 pounds, running a 4.48. That's not going to translate, though, to like 92 speed or anything, I don't think. His speed's only good, his acceleration's solid. That's going to be like a 90-91 combination or something. Marginal change of direction. Yeah, you got to have a little bit more flexibility there. That's why I think I like the sub 200 pound. I like the elusive backs more in this game. Great speed, elite acceleration. That's a better combination. And that also describes our current starting running back. So it's like, it also gets a little redundant if I spend an early pick there. I'm also finding it interesting how many like 230 pound elusive backs are in this game. Great acceleration, good speed. That, I actually like that more. Acceleration, I think, is one of the most important ratings here at running back. Matt McAllister. I might not need a running back early, but have you considered that I might want one anyway? Also, I have a lot of top 100 picks this year. Just saying. So I have all the I don't have all the edge grades. Some guys, it's like a mere lane. I could get the grade, but I'm so confident in him being a solid round 1 player that I'm not going to get it. Like, I don't think there's any question. That's a crazy edge rusher at 280 pounds. The only thing is, like, if you think a guy could be a top 5 talent and you're wondering, like, is he separating from the first round pack? So, Julius Burke, Matt McAllister, Freddie Lashley. I think I'm happy with that. Been watching since the Vikings franchise in Madden 12. Thank you for turning me into a Viking fan. I'm surprised you're giving me thanks, let alone a super chat. I thought you'd be mad at me. Appreciate that, Sid. Welcome to the club. Oh, yeah, y'all wanted to see a 40 time sorting. Combine 40s. Miles Kelly didn't even run one, man. Carlos Robertson ran a 4.28. Casually running in the Chris Johnson range. Holy smokes. I got a 98 speed receiver in free agency, though. He could be anything, even a 98 speed receiver. Yeah, Clay McDonald's also super tall. Freddie Lashley had the best 40 time of any quarterback. Clayton Mitchell was in the top 5, but it's not a fast quarterback class. You can look at the rosters and see if there are any receivers or tight ends that have a quarterback skill set. Might be worth a look. I found some gems there at quarterback. So you're talking about like throw power. Man, I can't imagine trying to develop that guy in this style of a series. Appreciate the super chat. How do I sort by the proper rating, though? It's not giving me any of those other options. If I go to like NFL roster and then sort by like throw power, eventually I got to run out of quarterbacks, right? Where the heck do they hide it? All right, this is sorted by throw power. Who's the first non-quarterback? You got a bunch of receivers here. Tetaroa McMillan. Did he run a lot of trick plays at Arizona? Emeka Egbuka has a strong arm. Xavier Worthy. Joe Alt. Okay. Joe Alt, I mean, he can throw it better than most players in the game, right? Cooper Skaggs. I don't think there's a hidden quarterback in here. Short accuracy, first non-quarterback is going to be Tetaroa McMillan. Okay. This safety, though. A guard? Dwayne Jones. He can pass protect. Actually, one of the best pass blockers like in the entire franchise. And you know what? He might just throw it himself. 37 short accuracy. Did Joe Alt play some quarterback? At 6'9", they definitely tried it. He had to have thrown a pass at some point. He was probably like 6'3" at 12 years old, and they gave him the ball and at least made him throw it a couple times. Joe Alt might be good enough. Similar arm to Gabriel. That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. Oh, there's Lad McConkey showing all kinds of support to Joe Book. Really hope we go draft a quarterback, guys. If y'all haven't already subscribed to the channel, do that now. I have the chat set up too, so you got to be subscribed to the channel for 5 minutes to chat, just because that seems to be the best spam filter that I've ever come up with. All right, guys, let's check this board one more time. So, we got a top 5 talent here, Enrique Colon. We've got... I did not get a grade on Dom Roberts, but it's like, I'm pretty confident you're going to be a top 5 player, best receiver in the class without a doubt. So, Clayton Mitchell, first round pick. Freddie Lashley, second to third. I am actually very surprised to see that. I thought he would be a round 1 guy. So, Lashley is faster. He's the better overall scrambler. And he should be a decent, passer immediately, but Mitchell's got him beat there. Mitchell is also a scrambler archetype, but he's not a playmaking scrambler. He'll just be maybe a little bit better at running out of pressure than Marquise McLeod was, with a better accuracy on day 1. I don't know if I trust Lashley having a good dev trait there. I will say, actually doing my Snowhawk series on the main channel would make me worry a little bit less about normal dev if I played him right away. Because if you get to 3,500 yards as a rookie, you can get a ton of experience. Marquise McLeod, 79 speed, 81 acceleration. I do think that Mitchell might have about the same speed skill set. So Lashley, not necessarily the highest rated prospect, but could he still be the best fit for us? Man. When I had him getting scouted, I was really hoping he would show up as the best. What was Cheatham look like? Cheatham is a strong arm statue. 6'3", 230. Elite throw power, very strong. Not that accurate. So he's somewhere between like Carson Wentz, Mike Glennon. Maybe later career Carson Wentz. Jamario Fields at the same talent grade we got to consider, right? Elite throw power, but it's not really, he's not going to run anywhere. Freddie Lashley, Clayton Mitchell, we have a decision to make. Man. So Lashley, now we understand better why he's not mocked in the first round. But I also look at his skills here, and it's like, are you sure he's a second to third round talent? His accuracies are all a B. His awareness is an A. Under pressure, B. Throw on run, A. We're not even talking about the rushing. But I said when we made the change from McLeod, I wanted to find a quarterback with a better scrambling skill set. I think it fits the style of game Madden 26 is better. And I really don't think Mitchell's speed's going to be much better than McLeod's. I could see it maybe being an 80-81. But his grade is only good. It's not great. It's not elite. Lashley does have great speed, great acceleration. So, with that being said, everybody, what a draft we are about to take part in. Holy smokes, guys. I'm a little nervous. First live draft in a while, and what a pivotal draft to be taking part in here. Welcome to the Year 10 NFL Draft, everybody, in the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise rebuild. We pick at 5 and 28. Scouting department trying to set you up. He's QB1. The chat right now definitely in favor of Freddie Lashley, who is also my personal lean. So, I don't think we got to take Lashley at 5 to get him. Do we try to move up? Because now Dom Roberts is projected to go at 2. Man, even the top 5 projected edge rusher, he's not even a solid first-round talent. What do you need other than quarterback? A slot receiver. Not much else. How did I trade away? No, that can't be right. I traded away 7 players. Significant players. I have to have needs. Quarterback. RB2 kind of. Receiver 3. Slot. We don't have a lot of good route runnings on this team. Lashley at 28. That's Jay Hart's pick there. We have an offensive line that's been completed thanks to adding Jamie Kendricks. We could use an edge rusher. We could use a young defensive tackle. I like our linebackers. Rakeem Kemp is in his entering year 2 with star development. We're good at cornerback. I took these guys in the first round. We're good at safety. I got to try moving up. So, the Dallas Cowboys are going to get us going at 1. They're not projected to take him. That switched on mock draft 5. Need to start developing interior O-line. I thought I had guys I was developing there, but they haven't proven to be the right guys necessarily. Take Flash in the first for the 5th-year option. Definitely have to factor that in. But actually, in this game, the 5th-year option stinks because it's so expensive. You're usually better off just declining it and signing a guy. The 5th-year option on Tyron Ridley was $70+ million in the last year. In general, that is the right way to look at it, but I don't think they've set it up right in this game. All right, Enrique Colon is first off the board, and I'm calling up Tampa Bay. What would it take? to move up to number 2. I don't think this will get it done. Man. Y'all are really going to negotiate this way, huh? It's going to take a couple of these top 100 picks. I'd rather the 6'9" receiver. I don't think he's as good of a fit. What about the extra future 2? Kind of wanted to have my 2 1s and 2 seconds next year. Use a player in a trade? I'm not sure I really have a player that I want to trade away other than maybe like Eric Goodman, but I don't know if they'd really care about him. And at D tackle, I just have my starters. And then, you know, Matt Lawson, but... All right, what's this going to take? I don't think this will do it either. But we're close. Man. That is steep for a few spots. But I would still have another first-round pick and a couple seconds. Like, I am sitting on a lot of extra picks this year. Wide receiver isn't a need for them, but he was mocked there. And it looks like he's one of the best players in the class. Send them a receiver from the Lynch trade? Jesse Knight? I actually don't think that's unreasonable. I actually like that. If I throw in a second rounder and Jesse Knight, what do they think? Because this would bury Jesse Knight. He's got the future starter tag and star dev. Now we just got to complete the deal. Bang. I like that. Dude. Nope. Oh my God. You can't decline that too. There we go. We have moved up to number 2. Not to get a quarterback quite yet, but we're trading Jesse Knight, one of our second-round picks and a 5th to move up just 3 spots. Because here at number 2, we are looking to replace Joey Riddick, and we are going to trade for Dom Roberts of Washington. And let me tell you this, guys. Do you like storylines? Dom Roberts, the Washington Husky. Who was his quarterback? Who was his quarterback? I can't quite put my finger on it. Dom Roberts is the pick. He was in the green room, didn't have to wait long. Let's see that jersey. Come on. Dom Roberts. Let me get I got my screenshot too late. 5 in true value, drafted at 2. NFL ready pass catcher. All-star contested catch ability. Consistently bailed out quarterbacks with spectacular catches. What do you mean consistently bailed out quarterbacks? Lashley? He was bailing him out? Hidden dev. Hidden development. Let's go, Dom. Hidden dev wide receiver. That's how we're starting this? Man, I can't believe that. Now, there are some quarterback needy teams that we need to worry about. There will be likely a couple going in the first round. So let's keep an eye. I mean, the Bills are an outside chance team. The Broncos have Isaiah Anthony as a franchise quarterback. So maybe not. The Browns have a franchise quarterback, but they're projected to take one anyway. The Cardinals got Marquise McLeod. Joe Book is with the Chargers. Where did Bobby Crane end up? If Bobby Crane's available, I'm signing. Never mind. Never mind. My question was answered. I predict a run on quarterbacks. Don't even. Don't go there. Cards traded the quarterback to the Colts. Did they trade Witherspoon to Indy? I love the quarterback trades in this franchise, man. They did. They did. What do you think they got? Let's look at the Cardinals trade. They did it for Skylar Wood, a 4 and a 7. So they got another left tackle. I thought you liked the one you had. You're ruining my story. Oh, we like him more. Not a bad deal for the Cardinals. So their net gain is basically quarterback upgrade, slight tackle downgrade, but even better than the guy they had in line to play. And they got some pick value back. All right, we're 2 picks in. We got to continue. Carolina. They select Tom Lloyd. The Patriots take Orlando Little at edge. And the Bucks, after moving down, they select Clayton Mitchell at 5. Tampa Bay takes the first quarterback this year. All right. I've made my decision that our guy was going to be Freddie Lashley. But that was an unexpected pick. A defensive tackle just went to the Bengals. The Browns just took a tackle in Josh Lopez. The Seahawks are a team to watch out for. Ooh. They took a safety. What do you mean? They were mocked a quarterback and they took a safety. Here's the board, by the way, at quarterback. It's expected that Jamario Fields goes over Lashley. I have no idea about Cheatham. Do we think Cheatham is a first rounder at strong arm archetype? I don't think I see a first. I think I see a second to third. And if we look at the available board, they got Fields, Cheatham, and then Lashley at 19. I kind of feel like I might feel better moving up to get him. Packers. Jamario Fields. The next quarterback taken could be Lashley. I'm afraid to wait too long. Bears, Giants, Cards, Chiefs. Not threatened by the Bears. Not threatened by the Giants. I don't think the Cardinals. And I think the Chiefs with Beverly probably don't. Carlos Andrade, tight end, defensive tackle. Giants, Jerry McLean at edge. Arizona, after getting Marquise McLeod, select Bobby Murphy. And now Kansas City is on the clock. Let me see what the price would be. It's got to be a second round plus. Oh, God. Guys, look at their needs. Just go get your guy. Best advice. I don't trust any of these teams. I don't trust them. What's it going to cost me? So we had all these extra picks, and we're consolidating them real quick. A second rounder just got us up. I can't afford to miss. That's the thing. There is no plan B when you've got one quarterback that you're interested in drafting. And I know the talent is not going to be ideal on day one, but you're drafting a quarterback for what he can become. And he's 21 years old. If we get hit in dev, I don't care if he's the 42nd ranked player. And we are going to draft 2 Washington Huskies in the first round. And we are selecting Freddie Lashley, the Flash, to be our quarterback that succeeds Marquise McLeod. Can I get a hit in dev? He was in the green room. Dom Roberts, Freddie Lashley. Welcome to Pittsburgh. 64 in true value. 42? No, Kane. He's end of the second round in terms of value. Turns scrambles into back-breaking plays. Makes all the easy throws. But can he make all the throws? Because we hear that, you know, his top receiver was saving some of his errant passes. We do not want normal dev, but we do not panic if it is, right? We stay emotionally stable and confident in the future. Freddie Lashley. Hidden development! There we go! It takes a strong will to make that kind of move, everybody. You gotta believe. You just gotta believe. 92 throw power, 87 speed, 89 acceleration. I want to know where he was going if I didn't trade there. I really would love to know. Trey Strickland is off the board. Enrique Estrada. If anybody else goes quarterback here before 28, that tells you we probably had to move up. Granted, there is another guy that you could like over Lashley if you prefer a strong arm quarterback and run an offense from 1986. It's just tackle, 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 tackle. So I've given up a lot. I still own a second and 2/3. But I made both of our first round picks better. No other quarterback is going. 27. If I got sniped by one pick, I would have ended the series. I couldn't do it anymore. That or I would have traded for Joe Book immediately. I wouldn't have even made our selection. I would have just traded for Joe Book and then picked. The real kicker would have been if Kansas City took a quarterback. If Indy didn't and they took Cheatham, I would have felt very justified. I still feel justified because quarterback was listed as a need for them, and I was scared. All right. I feel like my next target is potentially Amir Lane. If I can leave this draft with Amir Lane, I'll be very happy. Hey, Denver. Hey, Denver. Pick up. George Payton, pick up. 5 spots. What's it going to cost me? Come on. Don't play hardball right now. Is this the time to play hardball? We have moved up. Maybe I didn't need to. But I want to get my guys this year. And we're making our 3rd first round pick. As I want Amir Lane from Utah. One of my targets. Very athletic at 280 pounds. Opposite of Rashad Roderick Barber, we needed someone with some upside. And maybe even a replacement one day. 3rd trade up. I could have sat back and made like 6 picks in the top 50. But I chose to go this way instead. We get all those picks to make a few of them even better. Amir Lane, 28th in true value. Set state record for bench press reps in high school. I want to know what state he's from. Utah is where he went to college. Normal development. A little bit of a bummer. We'll see, though. A power moves, B block shed. Gonna have to produce. At least he is a top 30 player. Our next pick is in the 3rd round. I don't see us trading up yet again. I just traded up 3 times in the 1st round. What a draft. What an offseason, everybody. So I'm sure there is going to be another edge rusher in that mix. Maybe the Lions just took him that has hidden development. But I had to get my guy. Broncos just got an edge anyway. Maybe they were going to take him at 30. Julius Burke goes to the Patriots. We know that's going to be a really good pick. The Chiefs just took a quarterback, guys. See? They took one here. I knew we couldn't trust them. Devon Fowler goes to the Packers at running back. We'll see who's there when the third round shows up. Just to look at my board, though, for my favorites. Cliff Hicks is still out there. Probably not for long. Thad Hammond, we got, we can still maybe get a defensive tackle steal. Oh, I didn't even check Matt McAllister. First round talent. Okay. Man, that's pretty good skill set there for 230 pounds. If we rank the running backs, McAllister is probably not the next off the board. Am I going to potentially trade up again? I got 2/3 and 2/4. What if that just becomes 2/3? Or a second and a third? Think I'm off the McAllister train? What did you see that you didn't like? Running back. Josh Hernandez. F injury? Okay, that's legitimate. All right. I don't think I was willing to move up that far. I wasn't getting there for a 4. And I'm not turning 2 third-round picks plus into a running back 2. It is what it is. Darren Duval. Couldn't let him go to Jacksonville, huh? I was very wrong on the order the running backs would go in. Cliff Hicks to San Francisco. I feel pretty good about our receiver situation. A 6'9" receiver would have been a lot of fun. I know that'll be disappointing. If it makes you feel better, I did get the number 1 receiver in the class already. We think. I mean, he was a top 5 talent. I don't think there's a chance it was anybody else. So this time we just stay at 69 overall. And now my favorite board has still a number of good options. And I think here we go Derek Bragg at defensive tackle. I'm curious. Yeah, my favorites do not coincide with this current board whatsoever. But his talent is better than projections, so he's going to go sometime soon anyway. I don't feel the need to maximize trade value. I just want to get the players I want to get. Derek Bragg, the 21-year-old defensive tackle, is going to be next. $39 in true value. Shows good strength at the point of attack. Hand-fighting prowess allows him to shed blocks easily. Normal development. That's okay. Because we drafted him to be defensive tackle 3 for the time being. Quarterback to the Bengals. Kadeem Whiteside. I think that was one of the top tight ends. Dom Roberts reminds me of Trayvon Randolph. Randolph had the elite speed, though. You cannot compare to Randolph without the elite speed. You gotta have it. It's essential. 76. So I had a list of 5 players I really wanted to potentially get in this draft. I've drafted 2 of them. Cliff Hicks was already taken. The other 2 are guard Jake Holcomb and running back Thad Hammond. And I'm not against taking Hammond here. You know, maybe he develops and can become an RB2. What I like is that he's only 196 pounds, but he plays like he's, you know, at least 205, it seems. 20 bench reps, solid strength, elite change of direction, great acceleration. And he has B stiff arm, B trucking, B break tackle. Like, that's not a 196-pound running back. Slow? Yeah, he might be 89 speed, might be high 80s. His rank change is minus 60. No one else will take him. Sort by combine speed. He ran 4.5 flat, which is average. Trading a superstar wide receiver and drafting a project quarterback in the first round, the 2019 Giants would like a word. Eerily similar type player, too. There's a narrative there. Desperation move. This entire offseason is because we are so desperate, guys. Absolutely. You guys are really not liking Thad Hammond. Are you guys more of a Cassius McCray chat? Cassius McCray, solid speed. His 40 time was better, and he's probably slower. All right. Do you like Jake Holcomb? 21-year-old guard. Might be all right, but maybe... Some of you actually like Jake Holcomb, huh? There is another defensive tackle there, yeah. Finesse rusher. Connor Brooks. We do have a pretty good undrafted guy developing, but he is only a 70. Draft a kicker. I did that already. Any off-ball linebackers? I haven't really looked at many. I drafted 2 in the second round last year. Technically, I only drafted 1 because the CPU drafted the other one. You guys want Tom Sambucci? With that F zone coverage? Probably not. Linebacker's not a huge concern right now. Joaquin Castro. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's probably worth a pick here. How important is linebacker depth? Castro's pretty good. Holcomb looked solid, but I don't know if he's unseating who we have. He looks like a good backup at worst. Yeah, you can always move a linebacker to Sam. We have, I like our linebackers. I guess it doesn't hurt, you know, take a good one in the third round if you need one or not. I think the main thing here is he doesn't really have a weakness. Like, he probably shouldn't be available right now. Is he injury prone? No. All right, he's just the best player available. Joaquin Castro at linebacker, everybody. I still might take Thad Hammond. $41 in true value. I thought he might even be a first-round guy. Hidden development. 88 speed, 90 acceleration. If we have to trade Andrade or need a plan for after, you know, what's next, maybe now we're ready. And he's only 21 years old. Pretty good round. I wasn't even thinking linebacker, but found one anyway. Trade up. For the right price, you know, I don't have a lot of guys I'm waiting to take in like the 6th. So right now I have 2 4s, a 6, and 2 7s. And if I check the board out here, like, none of the top 30-ish players available are on my board. There's still probably some good players in there, but they're not in that, you know, cluster of players I had kind of picked out. So I'm not sure I have to move up. But I've been wrong before. It's been a while, but yeah, I've been wrong. Y'all got any fun weekend plans lined up here? It's Friday afternoon. Are the vibes at least decent right now? Sambucci. You guys just wanted him because he had a cool name. Thad Hammond just went. He's going to be good. I didn't... And that's proof of it, too. Him going way ahead of his projection. We got a long weekend, Kane. We're chilling. I love the sound of that. Y'all want me to move up for that D tackle? You feel good about that? I mean, his grade was good. Connor Brooks? Might as well, right? You guys talked me out of Thad Hammond. Never forget that. You helped me talk myself into... What? Why did it list all those picks? There. For a 6th round pick, we have made another trade. And we're going to take a defensive tackle. His name is Connor Brooks from Boise State. We're just drafting out of the Pacific Northwest this year, guys. I don't know why you guys didn't like Thad Hammond as much as me, though. Like, didn't I make a pretty good case? I told you, he had B-break tackle, stiff arm. He had 20 reps on the bench. I mean, he was going to be the next Kyron Williams. $47 in true value, Connor Brooks, normal development. But he is a different archetype. So at least a different skill set, some extra depth there at D tackle. We got some youth developing behind some of our most veteran players. I really thought Hammond was going to be here at 102. That did not feel like a stretch. I have a running back on the board, but I don't know if I like McRae that much. Brandon Gunter and Kelvin Diggs. Gunter, 215. Great speed, solid acceleration, marginal strength. Gunter only had 13 and 12 bench reps. Is that guard still there, by the way? No. Jake Holcomb's gone. So on my favorite board, it's shrunk, and now I'm not taking any defensive tackles there, so it's small. Gothard, by the way, purely backup tackle. He's just one of those pass protector only guys. You know, a good 6th, 7th round backup tackle. So 40 time at running back. Kelvin Diggs. Decent acceleration, marginal strength. McRae has the best ball carrier vision. You like sorting by shuttle time? There's got to be a good running back in here. See, I've been sorting by acceleration on a lot of these. Got a few great. But at this point, you're not getting great. Oh, you can get great and good speed. You got one player here. Solid strength. All right, Cole Baldwin. Receiving back with no ball carrier vision. But pretty good athlete. Has the bench reps. B juke, B break tackle, C stiff arm, B awareness. I actually don't mind this. He can catch the ball too. He doesn't have vision, but maybe he could develop it. UDFA though, wait. He can catch it, but he can't see it. Exactly. I have a 5th rounder still, right? Maybe he's more of a 5th round running back. What is the difference between a 4th round running back and a 5th? I don't have a 5th. The trade downs aren't ideal. Who's best available? They got a bunch of D tackles that were overrated. Man, they're all projected UDFAs. Eddie Johnson. CB with A tackle. Does he have A tackling? B tackling. North Dakota State. There is a CB with A tackle. There's a few of them. Cliff Weldon. Should probably just move to safety. Let's see this guard here, Colin Bennett. Not a great combine. Decent pass protection. That's not a bad 4th round pick. F injury, yeah. I already took a linebacker. Let's look at Curtis Stevenson. Tackle depth is not a bad thing to chase. I don't feel like I have a great grasp here, but looks like a backup only tackle. I haven't drafted an edge rusher. Any freak athletes out there at edge? .465, .469, so nothing too freaky left. What about high bench to go with it? Mateo Martinez. Oh yeah, I took Amir Lane. That's right. That's right. I did take an edge. I did. I don't know about Eddie Johnson, guys. At least he has some athleticism. F zone, C man coverage. I got some other backup corners I don't think he'd beat out. What about fast safeties? Colton Lafferty from Delaware State. Marginal acceleration. I don't know about that. How do you run a 4.47 if you have marginal acceleration? It's only 40 yards. How can you get a time that good if you're slow off the start? .29 vert? You got bad advice that you shouldn't have jumped. Jonathan Newberry. The heck am I going to do here, guys? Take the receiving back. I'm taking my guy here, all right? You guys talk me out of Thad Hammond. I'm getting Cole Baldwin. Decent athlete. You know, ball carrier vision work in progress. But I think he's a well-rounded running back. If you just ignore certain areas of the game. Cole Baldwin. That's my pick. The most obvious 67 overall running back ever. No, he's going to be a little bit higher. He's going to be a little bit higher. 78 in true value with a slippery juke move. Possesses an elusive spin move. Soft, reliable hands. I drafted an F ball carrier vision running back, guys. That's new for me. Hidden development. That's what I do. That's amazing. 91 speed, 92 acceleration. Guys, can't you just trust me sometimes? And the Browns just took a running back, man. They're probably fuming right now. All right, my next pick is in the 7th round. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to sim to the 7th. What an off-season, y'all. He created this player and put him in the draft. I just can't prove it. Well, in the transaction log, it would show that I accessed the draft class. Seventh round. I still got a couple favorites. I'm going to take a backup tackle, I think, with one of these picks. I have a few receivers here. I just wanted to see if I actually liked them enough considering what I've already done. Who are they? Callahan, Jalen Rivers, and Zach Baldwin. Are they any good? All right, Jalen Rivers, poor strength. He can move, though. 6 reps. All right, you got to go play arena ball. Caleb Callahan. Good spec catch, good release, good catch in traffic. Zach Baldwin. 24. That's an old rookie, guys. Got a medical red shirt, got a traditional red shirt, played for 4 teams. I'm not like tied to taking a receiver here or anything. I just had a few on my board I liked, or enough to put them on the board is all. And then Aaron Gothard, I just view as a backup tackle. And I think I'm going to get him just... He has A awareness. He could easily go before our next 7th rounder. 197 in true value. Sometimes you just get it right, guys. Sometimes you nail it. Former power forward. Got it right. Normal dev on him. How did we end up with the last pick in the draft? The Lions won the Super Bowl. This was the throw-in with the Evan Lynch trade. Callahan went. Baldwin went. We're making Mr. Irrelevant. I have one player on my board. I've already taken a couple D tackles. So the receivers all went. I want to take like a freak athlete with this last selection. Nick Lopez. Dude, the route running is so low. I don't know if it's him. Let's not even look at receiver. Let's just go all positions. Nolan Lindholm from Southern Arkansas. Look for best agility. We got a 3 elite. What are you doing here, guys? It's a fullback, a kicker, and a punter. Because it's all graded by their positions, so it would truly be Lopez probably. How about change of direction? Lindholm again. His run stopping is terrible. I think I have enough quarterbacks already on the roster. A 4.56 40 at fullback. You know, a slot archetype receiver wouldn't be bad. Can get B, short route running. I'm thankful you're doing this stream today. I'm thankful you're here, John, and all of you guys here. It's been a really good stream, really good crowd today for this on pretty short notice. Appreciate y'all spending some time here on your Friday. I know Friday and Saturday tend to be days where, you know, uploads tend not to do as well, so I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch the stream. Be catching receiver still around? Yeah, we can't forget about the simple skill of catching the darn ball. Victor Diaz and Sebastian Guerrero also has B catching traffic. Dude, he's slow. He's so slow. That's the worst combine we've seen. I'm sorry, Sebastian. Victor Diaz maybe a little bit better. I don't know about enough. The thing is there's probably the right answer somewhere in here. It's just finding him now versus when they feed you the overall. No good throw powers outside of quarterbacks, I think. Any multi-positional athletes? Any Joe Alts? Not a single one. Do you consider another quarterback? Not sure you can go with F awareness there. DT, elite speed, what do we got? Was there an elite speed D tackle? 475. That was Taj Wilcox. Yeah, I remember seeing his name pop up. I already got a finesse rusher. I would want a different archetype, I think. Which, you know, you're going to get a finesse rusher probably on the fast 40. But I got to take someone eventually. A tackling here at corner. You can't have marginal speed and acceleration. That ain't going to work. You can't have poor acceleration and poor speed. Check for high zone coverage. You're lucky to get a C at this range. Any crazy athleticism here? Not very crazy. I shouldn't be taking this long, but it's like the last pick. If it were like the 5th to last pick, I probably would have already made the pick. But now it's Mr. Irrelevant, and it's like, well, now I really want it to be a fun pick. Jonathan Newberry is one of the better athletes out there. Some of you liked Nolan Lindholm. Southern Arkansas, really good athlete. All right. I'll let you guys have Nolan Lindholm to end it here. Did they bring him out for Mr. Irrelevant? Do they have like the big jersey that has like the draft number on it? Nolan Lindholm. I'm stuck on this page. I can't even see the grade. And that's it. The draft is over. We made it, everybody. Look at that story. Hidden gem. Let me save my game quick. What do you mean hidden gem? You guys like all the do-rags, don't you? All right. Nolan Lindholm. Here are the overalls. 80 for Dom Roberts. We're going to get a 72 on Freddie Lashley. 75 on Amir Lane. 74 on Derek Bragg and Joaquin Castro. 73 on Connor Brooks. 71 on Cole Baldwin. 66 Arnold Gothard. And a 63 Nolan Lindholm has hidden development. 99. Y'all are cooking with that one. Nice job, guys. You did a wonderful job. Hands off to yourself. You earned the weekend with that one. I tried to find every reason not to do it. Whatever. A hidden 63. It's like finding the shiniest nickel you ever saw. But what if he has Superstar? Just give him a chance. I drafted him. Nolan Lindholm. 99, though, is pretty funny. Is he a safety? I wouldn't think with 84 speed. He has good acceleration. 5'11", 225. I mean, usually safeties with 70 tackling, I think, don't have enough. And he plays linebacker, so we'll see about him. Can we focus on the guy I traded up to pick at 2, maybe? Enrique Colon went number 1, 82 overall power rusher. 6'5", 297. This is who the Cowboys took now. Very, very strong. 84 speed at D tackle. So he's already faster than 90% of quarterbacks. That's a monster. And then we move up for Dom Roberts. Dom from Washington is not wearing 87. We're going to give him something a little bit cooler. 92 speed, 92 acceleration. I think that we're going to try to put him in the slot. You know, it usually gets some extra development. And then he's going to try to, you know, develop into our best route running receiver. I'm sure he'll do more than that. But we got some intriguing receivers on this team. He's a little injury prone, though, not going to lie, at 78. Risky move there. All right, Clayton Mitchell was the first quarterback off the board. Hidden development, highest rated at 75. He is a Buccaneer. 94 throw power, 86 short accuracy, and 82 deep. All right. Then Jamario Fields went off the board. Also hidden development. Can the Packers do it again? Not bad. Okay, what was the speed, by the way, on Mitchell? 84 with 91 acceleration. That is better than McLeod. That's, I think that's significant enough. If you're looking for scrambling, which I was. But I chose Freddie Lashley. He's going to start as a 72, but he's only 21. Lashley has 92 throw power. The accuracies are getting these 7-point boosts, so deduct that. They're truly going to be at 77 medium and deep, 79 short accuracy. So I think it's hard to say how good we're going to be early in the year. You know, Lashley needs development, and he's going to have to grow. Unpredictable personality. What are his motivations? Let's learn about him. He wants to win a Super Bowl. Wants to be close to home. We ain't. Head coach historic record. At least we're 48%. He doesn't have high standards there. And the traits. Quick clock. Will tend to escape the pocket after making their first read. Look for stars. Happy feet. Eyes up. Double back. Elusive instinct. And cover ball. I do worry a little bit about quick clock. But You might need a quick clock to succeed in this game on slow sim. Will Ashley start right away? I think, well, we're going to go through preseason. I think I streamed the preseason. I'm not going to do it tonight. But what would you guys say about a preseason stream, and then I do like a combo episode tying the two together and going into week 1? Amir Lane on the edge with 79 power, no finesse moves, and pretty good strength and athleticism. Going to compete with Josh Phelps, and we're going to give him a chance as a rookie to get some early production and not have the same thing happen what happened to Phelps, where he just didn't get sacks for 3 years. Derek Bragg. He's going to develop, you know. He's going to be developing behind the scenes. Happy to get him. And then we got Joaquin Castro. We got a lot of intriguing linebackers on this team. Castro's very fast, really good 82 tackling, and the coverage is solid, but Rakeem Kemp is probably going to keep him off the field along with Manu Andrade. Connor Brooks, situational pass rusher, probably has a better chance to see the field before Bragg just because of the role. Now, if there were an injury to Jalen Dalton, then it flips. And I got Cole Baldwin. 71 hidden dev rookie running back. A receiving back / elusive back. So the speed acceleration's very good. Acceleration not nearly as good as Sean Mickens at 94. See how a Crane trade looks? They drafted Fields. I have a feeling it'd be a little expensive. I'm going to have to see about veteran quarterback, though. Then we got Gothard and Lindholm here. That's fine. You know, backup tackle. Break in case of emergency. Protect the quarterback best you can. All right. In the first round, the worst pick, Clay Garrison. Some teams screwed it up. Hopefully we didn't. In round 2, 80 overall tight end, Marquise Jeffers. Of course it was Iowa. It was either going to be Iowa or Notre Dame. That's crazy. 80 short route running. 90 acceleration. That's an amazing pick. Remember, this was our first draft where I made the draft class strength at tight end week, and look what happened still. One of the next great tight ends was drafted. Julius Burke, I liked a lot. He's only 2 overall less than Dom Rogers. Not bad at all. 40 injury. Bad. That's actually really bad. That was one of my guys, too. Peter, don't call him Joe Burrow. Hidden development. Another one? Like every desirable quarterback had hidden dev. Look at the running backs in this round, guys. They are, well, some of them are pretty bad. Matt McAllister, though, at 76. I had pretty high on my board. 78, Devon Fowler. The power backs are going crazy this year. Trying to see if there's anybody else that I was like dying to see. And let me just clean up the end of the first round with what I missed here. Matthew Cheatham. The top 5 guys all had hidden dev. A lot of good quarterback options, it seemed, this year. It was a good year to draft one. 3rd round. J.C. Clifton was the best. The tight end is the best in this round, too. So this is, would you rather have a 71 hidden or a 76 normal? Thad Hammond. He's pretty injury prone with 73. Is he 2 years older? Well, he's not going to be 2 years older. He's 22. Might be a year older. A 74 tight end. Like, there's still so many good tight ends even on week. I think all's well that ends well in this case. I like our running back situation. We made it work with Cole Baldwin. They're same age. Hidden dev, though, so he's got a little bit more upside. And a better pass catcher. You want to see Sambucci? Do you ever look at CPU draft devs and the edit screen? No, I wait for them to get revealed. I think I've looked before in like a past series, but not, I just wait. You know, I look at it like normal versus hidden. I don't really think about the upper tier, even though I probably should. What about that guard I was going to take? Yeah, where was Cliff Hicks? Hard to miss a guy that's 6'9". I mean, his head scrapes the clouds. He's 2nd rounder? I have a feeling... I mean, why would they make a 6'9" receiver and not have him be hidden dev? They made him normal. That's enough speed and acceleration, though. Extremely raw, though. Like 68 release when you're 6'9". How do you get jammed up when you're 6'9"? That's kind of a deal breaker. Fourth round. Cassius McCray was a normal dev power back. I'm still looking for the guard. Wherever he went. Maybe he was 3rd. Holcomb. You guys want to see Tom Sambucci, the 64 overall Mike linebacker? Severely overdrafted. Where's Jake Holcomb? 73. Hidden dev. So the instincts were right there. That's cool. In the 7th round, 73 overall center. Any of these receivers have hidden dev that I was looking at? Kaylavon Callahan, normal. Is Kane mad we bullied him off Thad? I'm over it. I ended up with a decent player. These were the best 6th rounders. These were the best 5th rounders. Some steals here at corner. So, all in all, we had 5 80-plus overall players go. Cardinals took an 81 overall corner in Bobby Murphy. Chiefs drafted the fastest receiver and the fastest running back. They have a type. '99 strength guard. Logan Douglas, 81 overall. Just a mauler. Who gets to run behind that guy? Can we see the worst player drafted? The absolute worst player drafted was in the 7th round, so it doesn't feel right to dog him. He was in the 7th round after all. Chandler Reeves. I mean, he is an edge with 73 speed and 66 agility, and he doesn't have a pass rush move. He's durable, though. Another one I like to look at are like the extreme injury prone players. Because there are, looks like 4. Devon Fowler, Bobby Murphy, Julius Burke, Josh Hernandez. 4 of the, top 40, 50 picks. Thad Hammond? Yeah, halfback's not a position you want that super low. I guess it was the F injury that started you guys not liking Hammond. 73 isn't 40, but it is low. The worst reach was probably in the 1st round. Clay Garrison. I'd say that's the worst reach. When you spend your 1st round pick on a guy that shouldn't have even been taken. Penei Sewell not going to the Hall of Fame. Josh Allen and Amon-Ra St. Brown go to the Hall of Fame this year. If you guys can see that story, I think I might be blocking it. Josh Allen and St. Brown. Who's Rivers? Who's Rivers play for? Chargers? Green Bay drafted him in the 7th. Oh, I clicked into that. I clicked on Jalen Rivers earlier to see that he was normal, but yeah, I kind of like it. Good kick return, good speed acceleration. If he were undrafted, I'd sign him. But you know what? Maybe there's someone else undrafted, guys. These are not all undrafted players here, but many of them are. Got some quarterbacks. Let's see, receivers. Mason Rogers is one of the better available here. Any playmakers with really good... Let's sort by kick returning. That's a new one, right? Ty Weber. But he's got a couple of years experience, so there's less developmental upside. Lopez is still out there. Is he a return man? Maybe. I feel like I looked at a lot of these receiver profiles and I wasn't that excited during the draft. Zay Flowers is available. If I sort here by return, looking for some of the better kick returners out there to replace Guerrero. Hugh Cody, 98. 99 juke. 6'6". Could he be a kick returner? What about at running back? Jeremy Claxton. Maybe we could try out that receiver. Hugh Cody. We're just signing big receivers now. He's a vet, but we need someone to return kicks. Bridge. We're going to need a mentor, right? There are no mentor quarterbacks available. Is it worth it to trade for one? Where are the mentors? And why isn't Joe Book a mentor? The Colts are collecting quarterbacks at an unhealthy level. They have 2 Bridges and a quarterback of the future now. They just drafted him. And then they got Marco Temple. Cut Temple. Why are there no mentors? They don't teach anymore. This is out of control. Don't even do this with me, Indy. You just signed him for nothing. I'm going to wait for y'all to cut him, and I'm going to sign him later. Because you're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks into the season. There's no way. That's a load of garbage right there. What did I want to look at? Our schedule. I don't know what NFC... I don't know what NFC conference we play this year. Dude, why can't I move on this screen? But I can move on these ones just fine. I want to check my schedule. The buggiest UI I've ever seen. We play the Browns in our first game. Bills, Dolphins, Bengals, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bengals, Raiders, Jags, Jets, Panthers. So we're playing the NFC South. The Saints, the Bucks, Patriots, Ravens, Browns, Falcons as week 18. So we don't play Marquise McLeod this year. We don't play Joe Book. Yeah, that when we get the strategy, I'm not doing it here, but there's the camp counselor ability that can give you a huge boost in the preseason drills. It's pretty overpowered. Trying to remember where it is. I don't even know what it looks like, too. Where is it? It's called Camp Counselor, right? There it is. I mean, at gold, you get a 4x XP boost on your training camp minigames. So it gives you a really nice head start on some of those young players. And I've been using that in my Snowhawks franchise on the main channel, where I've only posted one video. You should definitely check it out. Episode 2 is in the works. But that's a huge help when you're doing a challenge franchise there. Yeah, I'm aware of the quarterback regression. I do have my QB regression slider turned down a little bit. So it happens. It's annoying, but what can you do? Here's what it did to Marquise McLeod. Apparently nothing. We don't have anything from before. Yeah, like Joe Book went down -9 skills. And it's happening to all quarterbacks, so even guys that are just a couple years in the league. but it toned it down. I toned it down a little bit. I mean, I'm settled to be staying on 50s for all pro. It's just what I like for these stylus series. That's right. Clay McDonald, Dom Roberts, Bud Cage at receiver. Right now, Carvajal is our top quarterback on the depth chart. But we're going to be looking a lot at Lashley here in the preseason. We're going to change the scheme. And next time, I'm going to stream again, and we're going to do the preseason. And then I'll be doing a video where I combine the two. I know it'll take a little bit of time, like doing these streams and then making a video out of it, but it's such a huge turning point in the franchise. And I felt like, you know, going live today, like if there was ever a time to do a live off-season in this series, it was today, which is why I'm here doing it. And we had a pretty good crowd today, a really good crowd. Bartell to the edge. Doesn't have the pass rushing to do it. But yeah, this has been a really fun off season. I'm not sure if there's anything I'm like dying to add right now to the team. Is there anything else I want to do? I'll add some backup linemen. I'll have to get an edge. I do need an edge rusher. Let's go look at edge rushers, y'all. You're welcome, Blue Orange. I love making the videos, and I'm happy there's such a huge community that wants to see what I do with this Steelers team next. Y'all still believe. Maybe. At least it's a fresh start. At least Marquise McLeod can't make you sad anymore. I do think he's going to do fine in Arizona. I really think he's going to be fine there and probably really good. I'm interested in what his career looks like now that slow sim isn't any part of it. I'm not sure the UDFA edges are intriguing enough. So let's go bring in Mike Atkins. And he's got one of the best receivers in the league to throw it to as well. Like, even better than Joey Riddick. I had Diaz on the team late last year. Maybe I'll just sign him back potentially. Although I think Terrell Morris is better. More athletic too. Also going to upgrade. We're going to sign veteran tackle here, or guard, Brandon Coleman to be a backup. And let's see. I kind of look for a good balanced skill set overall. Mac Gonzalez. Just backup lineman. I think we are just about done here, guys. Wish they had some more stories Like, remember when they had stories and they would have stories just for your team? I wish there was, like, guaranteed to be talk about your team every week. At least something small. Highlight a player who's playing well, scrutinize your draft picks. So we began the day with Marquise McLeod and 15 draft picks. We end the day consolidating those picks, making 3 first-rounders, and now Freddie Lashley, a.k.a. The Flash, has joined the team. His star receiver was drafted for us at number 2 overall, and we have the chance at a fresh start. And that's been long overdue. Who knows what the future holds, but that is going to do it for today, everybody. Hey, Kane, wanted to start my own CPU franchise. Do you use any sliders? I don't. Some do. Some like to. If you're, wanting to check stuff out, definitely try it, but I don't think it's completely necessary. I enjoy all-pro, 50s. Gameplay this year has been messier than most years, but I still prefer it, I think. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday night. This weekend, I'll try to get something else up. I do have a Snowhawks video that's in the works, so that's going to be one of my next uploads. And then I posted Arkansas State yesterday. Check that out. I will get going on more games there in year 6. And then the next time you see this series, I'm streaming again. So be ready for that. It's going to be preseason. First look at Freddie Lashley. And we're going to set we're going to pick a playbook and try to get things in place to continue this series. So, good night, everybody. I will see you all next time.